All right, for the milestone, I basically threw out and started to reorganize the rather messy file that I was working with earlier. So I've built out a bunch of managers and systems here for the engine management. I'm going to transition more of the content over in a bit, but for now, I have a much cleaner initialization use for testing. I've got a source file manager that holds the actual physical um, sound file data. And using this and MD5, it'll load in the sound files and allow user, which in this case means me through the engine, access to it. Uh, I also have a manager for voices that does a similar thing. This is also going to be an object pool real soon. For the buffers, the X-Audio 2 buffers, the situation is a little different because they only stamp data onto a voice. They don't keep any data for themselves. So what I've done is turn this into basically a pool of a single buffer. And after you use get buffer with however much data you want to put into it, it stamps it onto your voice and then you return it again. So it just uses the same internal X-Audio 2 buffer for everything. The other thing I've got in this demo is the timer command. So what I've got in here is that I am creating, here it is, creating a voice that uses applause. That's a preloaded sound here. So set up X audio, create our timer class, create the voice manager. That's the pool of voices. Use one of those voice and the file that we've already loaded, submit the buffer using that file, using a reference to that file, play it, and then mark for destroy, which will, in here, add a command with a delay of 2 seconds to destroy the voice. So you'll hear it, if I run it here, you'll hear it cut off in the middle of the applause after 2 seconds. Right there. The other thing I have integrated into this build is some buffer testing. So I, as a dumb user, take an extra reference to my source voice when it should not be used and attempt to use it here, checking for its handle status. And you should now see it break in a second. Bam, handle broke. How sad. So the callbacks and pooling, or not pooling, the callbacks and stitching, I don't have integrated into this build yet, but I have the demo here that does use them. This is the same infinite Seinfeld song that I demonstrated earlier, so I'll just run the same thing again. And you can see here that on stream end, it does a callback and finds a random song or a random transition depending on what just played and submits that source buffer. So I'll be moving that functionality over into the more structured engine soon. With the accessors to that will be through the buffer. You'll be able to add in your as in the engine coders customized callback classes.